Hey guys, it's time for another update for my favorite project pan challenge. It's so far this year, and of course it's the Pandos eyeshadows, so let's begin. So for my Quintet last time, I had one from the Going Coconuts and it's Coco Crush. And I mentioned last time that I'm pretty confident with panning this, and I did. This is Coco Crush. You can see the pan here. And I tried using this on eyeshadow, but again, as I mentioned, it was too sparkly and too like chunky for my taste. That it looked good when I wore it in my eyes, but I just didn't feel like I like the look. I didn't feel pretty wearing Coco Crush on my eyes, so I removed it and I just mainly use it as a nail polish. And last night I actually redid my nail polish, so this is Coco Crush. So it's that one. I just put a pinky nail polish. For some reason I forgot to put the top coat here, so yeah, just apply a nail polish here and then just let it dry, and then take the eyeshadow and then coat your nails, and then put a layer of colorless nail polish on top. But I used a yellowy transparent nail polish so that it would look a little bit more golden rather than silvery. So this is how I was able to pan Coco Crush. And then the next one from my Quintet was this from the I Think I Love You palette, and it's Girls Bite. I already hit pan on this one. And I'm actually very surprised that I was able to hit pan on it, because last update I didn't see a lot of progress. I've been using it, but I didn't see a lot of like dips. But then after using this for 3 to 4 times, I was able to hit pan on it, and I thought that this will last me until my next update. This has been on my Quintet for 2 months already. This is the 2nd month, and I thought that this will reach the 3rd month because it was so hard pressed. So I wasn't really even focusing on this. I was already surprised, but I'm glad that I was able to. So that's now out of my Quintet as well. The last 3 shades from my Quintet are actually from my Prism palette. They're all here, and they all are from the same color family. So I have Eden, which you can see I have a very good even pan here, and also Saturn and Eternal. They're very warm. So I didn't think I'd be able to hit pan on Eden as quickly, because last time I was using this Eden and I didn't see a lot of progress. On this month I used Eden the same amount of usage as compared to last time, but today I was able this time I was able to hit pan, and that's probably because when I use this palette I always go for Eden now, because I always go for this. So this is a good transition shade for these 2 orange ones. So that's how I was able to hit pan on this. So there, I've been using a lot of warm tones lately. If you saw some of my previous videos, I've been wearing a lot of warm tones, and this Quintet, this was very warm, and that was a bit daunting for me from my last update. But I'm glad that my Quintet was actually warm, because it made me realize how beautiful warm tones are. I mean, I still love warm tones. It's just that I'm on a different color phase right now, but it just reminded me how I love warm tones before. I'm still not back into the warm tones enough for me to justify buying another palette with warm tones, but I'm glad that if I ever decide to go back to my warm tones, I already have my Prism. I already have very good warm tones. I just use Saturn as an outer corner darker shade, because Eden and Saturn, they're both very similar. So it's like if I use Eden, I don't need to use Saturn, but I just mix Saturn sometimes with Parallel just to make it a little bit dark and put it on my lash line or on the outer thirds. And then for my shimmers, I usually use Eternal. I'm not using Eternal right now because I wanted to dig into my Level Up from I Think I Love You, which is the same. They look the same. It's just that Eternal has like a pink shimmer while that one is pure orange, but they're both very similar on the eyes. And yes, Now that I'm looking myself, I actually forgot to put on mascara. That's why there's something different or something lacking, but we'll go ahead. So I'm going to keep Saturn and Eternal. So this is Saturn and this is Eternal. I'm actually not mad that they're still here in my Quintet because this time I get to play with more of my warm tones, and perhaps I'll use a different transition right now that I've rolled out Eden from this project. So I'm quite still satisfied. I still want to play with warm tones. Like right now, I focused all of my looks based from my eyeshadows. I am wearing peachy blush, peachy lipstick, orange dress. So yeah, I'm pretty glad with this project because it makes me like get into some of the colors that I usually don't go back to anymore because of this pretty random generation. Alright, before we choose the other 3 shades that will complete my Quintet for September, I just want to inform you guys about my pans because a lot of you were like curious how I was able to choose, how I was able to downsize my pans from my rotation to 18. So these are the palettes that are currently in my rotation. I have Prism, which all of the pans in here were from my Pandos eyeshadows this year, except for Sphere. I was able to hit pan on this last year. And then I have Zoeva, which is a mixture of different shadows. So it's this one. Again, all of the shades in here were panned this year. And then I have I Think I Love You. So it's this one. And Going Coconuts. Alright, so I only now have 4 palettes in my collection that's part of this Pandos eyeshadows, but I still have the ABH Sultry, which I didn't include in this project because when I started this, my ABH Sultry was very new and I was planning on just bringing that one on my travel last June, but I didn't go anywhere, and so I just decided not to include Sultry despite the fact that I didn't get to focus on it for a month last June for my supposed travel because I don't like panning very new eyeshadow. All of these shadows, all of these palettes, I've tried to rotate them throughout last year. I did 1 week 1 palette, 2 weeks 1 palette, or 1 month 1 palette. I didn't film it. I wasn't active last year on YouTube. But yeah, I wasn't trying to pan my shadows, but I knew back last year that I wanted to do a Pandos eyeshadows challenge, but my palettes were all pretty unused. So yeah, as I was saying before, my camera chose not to focus on me. Last year, I tried to rotate through all of my shadows so that when I decide to start my Pandos eyeshadows challenge, it won't be so hard for me to hit pan on my eyeshadows. So that's how I was able to hit pan on a lot of my eyeshadows this year. I'm pretty light-handed with my shadows, but because almost all of my shadows are used, it was quite easy to like focus on them this year. And also I started this year with 7 palettes, but I've downsized them quite a bit. I decluttered 3 palettes, but I chose the ones that the shadows in each palette that I like and transferred them to this. That's why you can tell in these 3 palettes that I have like mixture of shades. Like this one was Shooting Star or Dreamy. This was something from the Dream Street palette that I decluttered last February, I think, or March. So yeah, that's how I was able to downsize the number of palettes in my collection, just to answer the questions that I got from my last update. But anyway, let's now start to choose the 3 shades that will complete my Quintet for September. So the first one will be number 12, Nutty, from the Going Coconuts. It's this one. This is the dark cool tone matte. I already actually have a dip in here. You can see in here. I've been using this as an eyeliner and also as a brow shade. So I already have a dip. But we will see how much But let's see how much use I have to do before I hit pan on this one. So this will be a very good like lash line color, because I currently don't have any eyeliner. I always use powdered shadow to darken up my lash line. So this is Nutty. Then the next one will be 13. Again, it's from my Going Coconuts, and it's Lovely Punch. It is this one. This one is a little bit hard pressed, but I've been using this quite a bit. I already have a little bit of a dip in here. I wasn't trying to hit pan on this, but that's the beauty of having a small eyeshadow collection. You get to use a lot of all your eyeshadows. You get to rotate through them. So this is Lovely Bunch. It's just a cool tone. It's just a brown, but it's just a warm brown, but it has a little bit of a mauve like undertone. So it's there. And then the last one will be number 11. Oh, Coco Crush. I didn't remove Coco Crush from my Excel, so let me just do that one. So let's choose another one. Number 3. Number 3 is from my I Think I Love You palette from Colourpop, and it's Let's Do It. Where is it? Okay, it's this one. This is not the original Let's Do It from the I Think I Love You. This was from the holiday collection in 2017, the All I See Is Magic. I kept it because it's a beautiful like warmish light shade that's good for blending out shadows on my crease. This is one of the earliest palettes of Colourpop, so the quality isn't really that good. It's super hard pressed into the pan, so I've been using this quite a bit, but I haven't really panned this yet. I have a wide dip in here, but yeah. It's going to be challenging because the formula is very hard pressed, but I don't mind. I don't have a lot of shadows in my rotation anymore, so I don't mind if some of my shadows will take a long time for me to use up or to hit pan on. So let me just swatch it. This will also help me blend out Saturn because the colors, they have the same like undertone, and also I can use this up. I can mix this with Saturn to create a transition color. So this is my Quintet. It's this one. So I'm actually quite happy with this one. A bit warm toned, but again, as I mentioned, this project made me fall in love with warm tones again. You can use Let's Do It with this, and then I can tone it down with these browns. So yeah, this is my Quintet for September. I'm quite excited. I'm quite happy with my selection. And I'm very happy with the progress in my eyeshadows, and that's it. If you guys enjoyed this, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe. It would really help me a lot, and I will see you on my next video. Bye!